Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today we will be doing what if Eren was pain and shit. Was pain. I mean Eren was Nagato. What the fuck this is? Anyways, so I was supposed to do this yesterday, as a lot of you know. I was supposed to do it yesterday. But I'm strictly honest with your ass. I was heavily under the case of nigga. I'm too sleepy. And if you were sleepy yesterday, put a comment ZZZs in the comments because I was stupid as shit. I don't know what was going through my mind when I posted that, but anyways, we're back. I'm good today. I still want to go to my bed, but hey, I'm fine. So I want to do something clear. So if you do not want to know spoilers for near to the end of this entire what if, right? Please skip to like 3 to 4 minutes. Are the ships in particular, because I just want to get this out of the way so when I gradually do it, y'all knew what expected to happen if who stayed, right? So I'll give you a few minutes to just pause. If you haven't paused, we're gonna keep going. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you the strip straight off. So Levi Handry, that's a ship. Levi Handry, Armin, and Hitch. If you don't know who Hitch is, it's like Annie's best friend from I think it was the Garrison Corp. So yeah, her. And then there is who his name is Connie and Sasha's or ship. I honestly I don't like Niccolo because he came out for me. Niccolo came out of nowhere. I was gunning for both Sasha and Connie because they were good friends. I was like, hey, they about to be fucking. But that Niccolo game, and I was like, who's this little nigga? Like, hey, you're from Paradise? Hey, get that shit out of here. But I guess I digress, right? So the next ship after that, it's also Falco and Zofia. You'll understand when I get there, okay? Falco and Zofia, and the other one is like, this is the main ship. Mikasa and Eren and Historia, Eren and Annie, Eren and Peak. And for those things, I'm gonna give you a summary of why those are ships. For one, Mikasa, you all know why Mikasa is a ship because she's low key the main character. If you read the manga, you know what happens. It's weird, but okay. And Annie, it's gonna be more like she felt a bond with him because she trained with him. Blah 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 blah. Historia is more of royalty decision, and yes, they do have common interest in each other, but it's more royalty than anything. Then there's Peak. Now this is for the infiltration. This is because Eren. I'm gonna make Eren not just be this little hobo nigga. I want Eren to do more shit for every other corner of Marley so you can take it down in preparation, right? So I decided. So Eren is gonna infiltrate. So he needs something to keep his cover while doing that. So she'll seduce Peak, and no one suspect him because he's Peak's boyfriend. So no one really will suspect him all that much. So yeah. So now let's get into the video because I have time. So let's start off. Eren is going swinging around. No, he's on top of the walls, looking at the Colossal Titan. He uses Treaty of Maneuver Gear to go up near to the Colossus Day, but before he could slash, the Colossal Titan disappeared. He decided to go over to his other group, and they decided to make a bet on who could kill the more Titans. Tragically, a lot of them ended up dying, and Eren sacrificed his life to protect Armin, pushing Armin out of the way of the Titan's mouth, and Eren getting eaten instead. Eren is now in the stomach of the Titan. He started flashing back on how his life was and how much regrets he has now. Now that he's accepted that he's gonna die. Unlike Eren in canon, he's way more accepting of his fate because he believes that everything happened for a reason. So this meant he was supposed to die for a reason. So he's flashing back on his life, never getting to see the things he wanted to, and we flash back to see Eren. A few days after Eren killed those three men. No, two men and Mikasa killed that one. They were taking a stroll to Mikasa's old house to pay respects to her mother, because the mother was buried outside. She wasn't given a burial. She wanted to die outside, so she died outside. She died outside the grave. They came in, but they heard a strange noise in the house. Eren picked up a sharp stick and gently opened the door. He looked in, and he saw two mud footprints. Two pairs of mud footprints. He looks around and he goes into the room where they were last seen. The house that was untouched because Mikasa didn't want. Only the things in the food and the money that they had in there was taken for Mikasa and clothes, but it's the only thing that was left in there. So the bed and everything is still there. Eren comes in and he opens the door and he finds a brown-haired girl and a yellow-haired girl. These two girls were both Ymir and Historia, or Catra, Kayla, whatever the fuck her name is. I honestly can't remember, but I digress. So Historia looks a little shaken, and Ymir gets up and shields herself over Historia. Eren looks at them closely and kind of squints his eyes and notices something on them. They're all wearing kind of like rags, and dirty clothes, not rags, but Historia's look more like a farm outfit, and Ymir looked like she just fine, which looked like it was just one of Historia's clothes. Eren put down the stick and walked calmly towards them, getting into Ymir's face, and Ymir flinching a bit, but not really doing anything, waiting for Eren to attack them or something. Eren just shrugged and decided to tell Mikasa that let them stay here because there's probably a reason they're here, and he doesn't really want to cause any commotion, so they'll just leave. Mikasa, though reluctantly, allowed it because she also realized something was wrong about it, but she didn't pay any attention because it's not her business. Her only business is Naruto. Is Eren, so she doesn't really care about anything else. So Eren walks outside, and this is where Ymir starts talking, and she asks why does he want to ask questions. Eren says that honestly he doesn't really want to, because if he then learns something and he can fix it, that means he'll have to kill someone else, and he doesn't really want to do that today. Historia got a little scared by those words until Eren just shrugged it off and said, this house used to belong to her mother and father. They were about to be sold until Mikasa was just about to be sold to basically a slave trader. And to prevent that, I had to kill around 2 people, and Mikasa killed 1 person. So I will say, if I find out this person and he's really, really close and he did something bad to you, I would have to kill him. So it's best not for me to know. You see? Eren then puts his hands in his pocket and the bored look on his face, walks out of the room. Mikasa shakes and leaves. Next day they come back and bring some food for both Ymir and Historia and offer to wash their clothes. They also brought a bucket with water, and they also brought Armin along with them. So Armin saw Historia and Ymir, and Armin started talking with them about the walls, because that's how Armin is. Eren just has this bored look on his face, which everybody realizes he has on a lot of the time, but they don't understand it. But he digresses. So Eren just standing there really and just enjoying the sight. and he washes Ymir clothes, Ymir and Historia's clothes, and hangs them on a line so they could dry. Eren then sits on the porch of the house and decides that he's gonna ask them now because he's calmed down a bit from from a few days, and he guesses that they're not. If the person hasn't found them yet, that means he's far away. So he asks Ymir and Historia what happened. Ymir, Historia was really hesitant, but then she started to talk. She says she doesn't understand what was happening. Last thing she saw was that her mother was killed, but to be honest, she wasn't really affected by it. She had explained how her mother treated her and how she was to her, how her mother was to her, and she doesn't know anything from there. Everything is just a blur after that, and she believes herself end up running. She sees herself end up here and doesn't know what happened. Eren says that's suspicious, but he doesn't care enough to ask. Ymir says that she would rather keep it secret. Eren has really no problem with that because he doesn't have any interest. To be perfectly honest, he only asks because he wanted to or he was supposed to in any way. So he wasn't that bothered by her not answering his question. So Eren decides, yeah, he says from now on, let's be friends. And we flashback to current situation where Eren's body eyes change from the pain that he feels from having to lose his friends. From Mikasa, the person that secretly has a crush on him. Also Historia, and a new person that he met. Her name is Annie. Annie was a special person. She didn't put her emotions on a sleeve or didn't try to show her emotions towards him. But there was times he caught her lacking where she thought she was by herself, but Eren was coming to see her, and she started talking to herself about how she likes Eren, but she would never tell him because of so and so. You know the reasons why, but Eren doesn't know the reasons. You understand, right? Yeah. This time Eren decides, well, this is it. And the pain clutches his heart, squeezing it, making him feel dead inside. His eyes become dead. Then his arm started to steam up. His eyes became a deep purple. The ring started to surround his eyes in a ripple pattern. His hair started to grow and come longer. And in a screeching roar, lightning shot down from the sky, like placing a crown on Eren's head as the god of this world. He screamed, yelled even, and he bursted out of the Titan. By this time, Armin and all of them went off to do what they was doing prior to this, but yeah, you understand what's going on. Eren comes out and his eyes are squinting around the place, or his Titan's eyes. His Titan has the same design, but unlike his original Titan, he has white hair instead of brown hair, and his eyes are purple. So Titans look the same, but the different hair color and the different eyes. Naruto's hands started to Eren's hands started to break apart, not falling apart, but started to have cracks and stuff in it. Then it just turned into a cannon, and Eren placed his hand forward, shooting a gigantic beam through Five Titan's head at one time. He started to run, and this is where a rod sticked out of his hand and plunged it into two Titans, kicking both of them, snapping them in half. Eren jumped on a roof and just started jumping to roof. Now, note that Eren's not even conscious. He's just doing this on pure impulse. And you're saying, Eren wouldn't be able to do this, blah, blah, blah. This is a fucking what if. If I want Eren to jump on roofs, he's gonna jump on roofs, okay? Damn. Anyways. Eren is jumping on roofs, getting towards the scouts, or where he sees more humans. He's not eating them, or he doesn't go to eat them, but he goes to protect them. Although Aaron's unconscious, his will to protect his friends still stands strong. He reaches until when Mikasa was just about to get eaten by a titan, until he plunges a black rod through its head. Then he looks at Mikasa, and Mikasa looks at him. Mikasa has this weird feeling, like she knows who this person is. But she then realizes some similar features between Eren and this Titan, except the different hair color and the different eyes. She does recognize him though. She's slowly piecing together who this is. But let's go to someone else's POV that saw the whole thing went down. Annie. Remember, Annie likes Eren. So, unlike her a normal emotional self, when she heard about it, she went straight to the place where they said he died. And she just got on her knees and started crying. I was just about to turn into a Titan to kill that Titan that killed the person that she liked, or in her eyes, loved. But to be honest, she knew that Eren, as she found out who she really was and the person she really is, he would never like her. But that was not for this Titan to decide. But then she saw purple lightning hit the Titan, and a Titan came out of its stomach. Her first impulse or reaction was Eren, and she was ecstatic that Eren was alive. Then it hit her. Eren's a Titan shifter. That means she has to get him, and this kind of slowly breaks her heart because she's devoted to her mission. She's been on Merly for years. So now for her just to abandon that whole thing just for a person doesn't make sense at all. But she also doesn't believe in Merly's propaganda. So two emotions conflicting with each other. But she did see Eren go on his rampage, going to protect Mikasa, and she grabs Mikasa out of that place and give her some new blades from hers. Because remember, Mikasa's blades were broken at the time, blah blah blah. So this is where they find Historia on the walls, and Historia had just heard that Eren's dead, and she's on her knees crying along with Ymir comforting her. And we see a tear from Ymir's eyes. But this is where Mikasa and Annie comes. Annie then gives her hypothesis that is Eren, and they point down to the Titan, the only white-haired Titan that is killing all of the other Titans. Like, he's massacring them, shooting missiles, shooting rods into their heads. He's doing the most, and like, it's like the Titans lost interest in every other human and just went for that one person, and it didn't make sense because yes, normally they would have gone for him so they can become human again, right? But they were like, yo, they don't. So let's say they had a conscience. Let's say Titan have a conscience right now. It's a hypothetical. So they're in the mindset like, yo, nigga, I feel this gigantic urge just to eat him, and that's what they're feeling this whole time, right? Remember when you go from McDonald's and you're feeling like gigantic urge just to go and munch on that hamburger, like smack your lips, right? And you just rush to McDonald's just to get that thing. That's basically what they're feeling right now. So they go to Eren, but Eren's bodying all of them. Like he's no different their whole crew. You came to jump him. He's gonna jump you with him alone. Like he's jumping you with just him. If you don't understand that reference, CJ the one. If you don't understand that reference, you're too young. And it is so. Eren is just fucking with him. Like he's like, hey, I'm that nigga. Like you can't do anything about it. I'm that one. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. You're not that guy, but I'm that guy. So that's how Eren is right now. And they bring up this hypothesis, and Mikasa did state that she feels some similarity between Eren and that Titan, but they're not sure of it. But this is where all the scouts come back on the wall, because again, it's kind of fucked. Like, yeah, it's kind of fucked, and he destroyed every last Titan that was there. And just by all the other scouts, after seeing all the Titans were dead, they went there, and all they could see was a sea of pure blood and steam. And Eren's Titan was falling apart, and it fell on the ground, limp and unmoving. Eren slowly emerged from the nape, and this is where both Annie, Mikasa, Historia shed a tear of relief. And both Mikasa, Armin, Annie, and Historia, and also Ymir fly down to Eren. Mikasa holds Eren in her clans, crying her eyes out. Annie has a small tear in her left eye coming down, and this time she decides not to hold it back and also hugs Eren. Historia wasn't even give anybody else time. She was the first one there hugging him. Like, she didn't give anybody else time. And this is where Eren opens his eyes with his now snow white hair and his purple, deep purple with a ripple eye pattern eyes, with the Titan marks still freshly imprinted in them. Eren smiles at seeing all of them and tilts his head back, kissing Mikasa while slowly passing out. And that is it. Now, everything plays out to canon, where Eren gets prosecuted, not prosecuted, where Eren does his whole thing with the survey, not the survey, he gets captured and they're trying to kill him, right? But this time, Eren's Titan just catches it. The whole torso, skin and all, appears, eyes and everything, not just the skull, but everything appears, and it just catches them. It just takes it head on, just catches them, and it opens its hand because that's what Eren was wanting to do, and it opens its hand to go shoot out cannons, and this is where Hanji, Levi, and Daddy Pixis, hey, no homo, but Daddy Pixis comes in to shoot you. If you know Daddy Pixis, you know Daddy Pixis, bro. Don't ever mess with this wise ass nigga, bro. I thoroughly believe that Pixis can make a plan to defeat Goku. I don't want to hear anyone's comments, bro. Pixis solos the whole entire Dragon Ball verse. Pixis is that nigga. Anyways, yeah, Commander Pixis, like he's that nigga. Erwin, he can handle Vegeta. Like, hey, I mean, he can handle Vegeta. He'll die, but he'll handle Vegeta, dog. So everyone come, and Hanji sees this futuristic light cannon protruding from this Titan's arm that was made by a human, and she is bawling the fuck out. Like, she is admiring, although the cannon is pointed right towards her, and Levi knows that cannon shoots faster than he can move. So he knows that if Eren really decides to end it all, he's done too. But Eren, when thinking about it, decides that the best course of action in this point of view, or at this point, is not to kill them, and he deactivates it and starts his time to start to evaporate. He comes out of the Titan holding both Ymir, Mikasa, Armin, and Annie in his Titan hand, and placing them down and jumping off of his Titan. He says that he doesn't want to hurt them, nor does he want to cause any trouble, so he just turns himself in. This is where Pixis commends the boy for being so brave and actually listening and reasoning out what the situation would be if he decided to end it all. But Pixis says that you are now our only hope for salvation, and that we need you. And this is where the whole boulder incident happened. But now, since Eren has more control of his Titan, he wouldn't go on a rampage. But he would fall down because he couldn't use his Titan properly. But Annie, for all persons, starts to guide him on how to properly use his Titan, which makes it suspicious. But she reasoned it as in it's kind of like a human body. Just Eren just needs to regulate to a normal height, and Annie just says that it's like Eren just needs to regulate to a normal height, and it makes sense to both Armin, Mikasa's story and Ymir because it doesn't make sense. So it keeps them off of her radar, right? So everything ends up happening. Eren still blocks the wall. Eren gets captured, but the rest of this would be in the next video. And also, I forgot to leave some ships out because I'm a dumbass. So I forgot. So I forgot the ship of Ymir because Ymir is gonna be alive. So if you don't want to know, don't want to know. So the ship also for Ymir is Ymir X Historia's sister. If you don't know who her sister is, she's that baddie Titan that got the watermelons, bro. If you didn't see that watermelons built on my fucking head. Anyways, the badonkadonk and like the jiggle physics on that bitch. Anyways, talk about her Titan form, not a human form. She's flat as she's a flat chested bitch in her human form. I think I can't remember. I need to refresh myself on that, but I think she's the flat chested bitch in her normal form, right? But that's the end of the video. And I think I also forgot something. Oh yeah, Eren X, not Eren X. Who's her name is, bro? Petra, yeah, Petra. Because if you don't want to know anything else about the what if part 2, click off. Just click off. The video is done after this. Eren needs to become a captain. I'm just gonna say Eren's gonna become a captain. A captain. I mean that nigga. He's gonna become that nigga, right? And Peak, and I mean not Peak. Who her dumbass name is? And Petra is gonna be his assistant. His assistant for being captain. He's gonna have his own office and shit. But honestly, today that is the end of this video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Had a good day. I don't know what you're planning to do today, but have a good day doing it. Deuces.